Why is everybody so angry about Ted Cruz going to Cancun? I mean, it's not like he's doing it in the middle of the Texas snowstorm, right? Well, keep watching and I'll tell you why this is such a big deal, how Texas lawmakers are fighting each other to see who's the biggest asshole, what Ted Cruz could have been doing, and most importantly, what you can do to help. I am Silvia from Tono, Latino, and my passion is talking to people about what's going on in the world of US politics, and most importantly, telling them what they can do to help. So if you want to learn more about what's going on, but don't want to get overwhelmed by news headlines, then you're in the right place. Subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to turn on the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video.
Thing one tonight, it's no secret that Senator Ted Cruz doesn't have a lot of friends in Congress.
If you killed Ted Cruz on the floor of the Senate, and the trial was in the Senate, nobody could convict you.
Among the words used by Cruz's Republican colleagues to describe him, wacko bird from Senator John McCain, carnival barker by Congressman Peter King, and jackass by then Speaker John Boehner, which is actually pretty mild compared to what Boehner said after leaving Congress.
Lucifer in the flesh. I get along with almost everybody. But I've never worked with a more miserable son of a.
So why is everybody so angry about Ted Cruz taking a trip with his family to Cancun? Well, Ted was caught flying to Cancun while his state of Texas is in the middle of a serious crisis due to power outages and frigid temperatures. Is this really the right time to go on a little vacation? I mean, let's start with the fact that the CDC discourages travel to Mexico because the amount of COVID-19 cases over there is really high, and you need a negative COVID test to get back into the United States. As of today, February 18th, nearly 500,000 people in Texas still have no power, but the good news is that this is down from 3 million people earlier this week, and officials are saying that rotating outages may continue for a few more days. People without power are at a high risk for hypothermia. Right now, hospitals are running out of water, and the water that's in pipes might be contaminated. How does this even happen? Well, it's due to lack of maintenance to Texas' unregulated energy grid. Why? Because instruments at coal, natural gas, and nuclear plants froze due to the temperatures. And at the same time, the supplies of natural gas fell short. Of course, this was the perfect opportunity for Republicans to attack renewable energy sources. Republican Governor Greg Abbott blamed it on frozen wind turbines and solar plants, but those account for only about 13% of Texas's winter energy. Oh, but if you think that arguments from Governor Abbott are bad, just wait until you hear what former Texas Governor and former Secretary of Energy under the Trump administration, Rick Perry, had to say. Texans would be without electricity for longer than 3 days to keep the federal government out of their business. Why would Perry say something like that? Well, might be because Texas is the only state out of the lower 48 that has its own electric grid. And they're doing that because they don't want to be regulated by the federal government. They have something called ERCOT. Well, regulation by the federal government would have required that they be ready for something like what's happening right now. The worst part is that what Greg Abbott said was bad, what Rick Perry said was bad, but nothing was as bad as what now former mayor of Colorado City, Texas, Tim Boyd, had to say on his Facebook page. And I call him now former mayor because after this, the guy had to resign. On his Facebook page, Tim Boyd said the following: "The city and county, along with power providers or any other service, owes you nothing. I'm sick and tired of people looking for a damn handout. If you are sitting at home in the cold because you have no power and are sitting there waiting for someone to come rescue you because you're lazy, is direct result of your raising. This is sadly a product of a socialist government where they feed people to believe that the few will work and others will become dependent for handouts. I'll be damned if I'm going to provide for anyone that is capable of doing it themselves. Bottom line, quit crying and looking for a handout. Get off your ass and take care of your own family. Only the strong will survive and the weak will perish. What do you think about lawmakers going on vacation when their states are in crisis? I would love to know, so tell me in the comments below. The good news is that not everybody is as heartless as former Mayor Tim Boyd or as clueless as Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Former Texas Senate and presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke has gathered a team of people to make phone calls to help seniors in Texas. Just today, he reported that they've made over 300,000 phone calls to help senior citizens in Texas who need heat, water, food, and shelter. Speaking of Beto O'Rourke, I said that he was a former Senate candidate. He actually lost his race to Ted Cruz by a little bit less than 250,000 votes. But the good news is that a great organization that I always speak highly of, Voto Latino, registered a little bit over 263,000 new voters in this state of Texas during the 2020 election cycle. So the importance of voting in every election and making sure that you're registered is highlighted once again. But I told you at the beginning of this video that I was going to tell you ways in which you can help. Check out the link underneath this video for an article by Megan Menchaca of the Texas Tribune. She highlights ways that those of us who are not in Texas can help and ways that people in Texas can get help. It covers local organizations in the state that are providing warming shelters for people or nonprofits that are taking donations or volunteers. And as I gather more resources, I will continue linking them underneath this video so you can help. Please help in any way you can, even if it's just donating a couple of dollars to any of the wonderful organizations that are on the ground helping those in need in the state of Texas. And remember, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends so the YouTube algorithm knows that it's useful and it shares it with more people. Subscribe to my channel and I'll see you again soon. Nos vemos pronto, cuídense mucho, un abrazo.